Hi there. Welcome to another of my reviews of Tai Lopez's 67 Steps. This is step number 19. This one's called Amazon.com and the $32,000 brain budget. The education budget you must institute. I just like saying the word budget. Anyway, this lesson starts out with Tai. The first thing you have to do is get a hold of your finances, get control of your finances. You need to accurately keep records of what's coming in and what's going out. And the difference between what's coming in and what you have to spend is your discretionary income. So, if you're making a couple $1,000s a month and you're spending money on rent and food, what's left over is your discretionary income. And what Tai is suggesting is that you split that money into three and spend a third of it on your education. And so step number one is to know what you're making and what you're spending it on. And I think I started to use a expenses tracker. I have one on my iPhone, and there's Quicken, and he talks about some other ones. I use a very basic one, and do that for a couple of months, and you'll be surprised at how much you're kind of wasting, and especially that you're spending things what Tai calls consuming, not investing. You need to stop doing that and start putting money into your brain. Your brain developed into this amazing problem-solving simulation machine that we talked about earlier, but a lot of us don't stuff enough information into that brain to be able to make simulations and to be able to make these leaps of thought in our lives. So the way you put more stuff in there is from the outside in, by reading. There's other ways, but by reading. And, the great philosophers, that's what they did. I mean, even you look at Rousseau, and he said that he read 200 books to write one article. It's a lot of that. You really have to stick the stuff in there. And only then can you create your own blend of a unique life, and you get these building blocks, these raw materials by reading or listening to audiobooks, going to conferences, meeting people. And yes, to do all that you need money. And so that's why we talk a lot about money, because money is not maybe an end, but it's a tool, to get you along. And money has potential to do bad things and good things, and you choose how to use it. So start investing a little in your brain. That should be the first thing you do, Well, actually, I think the first thing you should do is get out of debt, but that's why Tai talks about splitting it into three, Tai relates this, and spend the money on yourself, spend the money on like seminars. And Tai talks about this story about a guy he met who spent $1 million in 1 year on going to real estate seminars. And the guy thought it was worth it because of the knowledge that he obtained. He didn't make any excuses. He just did it because he knew, he probably didn't spend it all at once, and maybe what he learned from the first seminar, he made some money, and then he went to the second, and so on, and you grow. And, you don't, when everyone else was spending things on, this rust, rot, and depreciate, things that go bad, things that have no marketable value afterwards, no positive value in your life afterwards. When people are spending stuff on that, he was spending it on himself. We have all kinds of examples of this in the mega wealthy. So, even Warren Buffett, there's some people who are cheap, but Warren Buffett pays very close attention to the amount of money he spends. I know Charlie Munger is the same way. But it's not all about money, because, this is the 21st century, and you can get, you can buy used books, which are quite cheap, and I do that a lot. And Tai says you can get a library card, which people don't even do anymore. You can get a library card and get books for free. Another guy who I've been following recently, this guy called Dan Pena, who's a high performance coach. He says to go online and get his stuff from torrent, so there's stuff available for free that you can get to stick in your brain. And don't get hooked up on this, or hung up on this thing about, is it worth it? Tai, for example, he just buys, if you mention a book to Tai, he just buys it on one click, on Amazon. And same thing with seminars. If he's free, he'll go. And the thing to remember is that if you do that, and maybe that's a bit extreme, but if you do that, the only reason it's not worth it is because you didn't take advantage of it, assuming it's a legitimate thing, If you read the book and didn't take advantage of it, if you went to the seminar and didn't take advantage of it, it's a waste of money, like things that rust, rot, and depreciate, but because you didn't do it, Tai gives the example of this AdSense course that he took a long time ago, and how that did good things for him when he was working for GE Capital. So, you take a course, you apply it. That's the important thing. So, divide your discretionary income into 3, Tai is saying, and you put a third of it into savings right away. A third of it you spend on, frivolous things, but a third of it you spend on your education, books, courses, and seminars. And this is regardless of your income. You're making $1 million a year, you do the same thing. If you're making $5,000 a year, you do the same thing, because the more you spend on that education fund, your income should go up, really, because hopefully you're going to learn things and apply things. So, track your income. He had 3 questions at the end of this. Track your income, find your discretionary income, figure out what you're blowing it on, and what should you actually be investing it in. I think that's 4 questions, but that's kind of your assignment after this step. I hope you're liking these reviews of my Tai Lopez's 67 Steps. And there's a subscribe button somewhere along here that will hook you up to my channel, and you can see, because I'm going to do all 67. We're only up to 19. Okay, talk to you soon.